traditional Gianmarco recipe. Hello to an old world original. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Serving the families of Clark County and the surrounding area since 1966, it's Mitchell Funeral Home. Understanding that a funeral is a celebration of life, the entire staff of Mitchell Funeral Home takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional service they offer. Cremations, funeral plannings, burial policies, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are a few of the services we offer. Mitchell Funeral Home, Arkadelphia, 870-246-2611. Mitchell Funeral Home. Quality you can appreciate, service you can depend on.
Hi, I'm attorney Theodore Thompson from the Thompson Law Firm, and I want to help with your legal matters. Whether it's criminal defense, bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law, I want to help you. I can be reached at 501-503-5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective is to provide you with the best legal representation. Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Theodore Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best legal representation.
I'm so glad I found the Kick Above. It's like my very own personal training studio. A Kick Above removed the guesswork and intimidation and offered me a very supportive and structured environment specific to my personal goals. Kim Leopard and her certified personal trainers even offered nutritional guidelines for my personal workout. It's about me at a Kick Above. Call 501-868-8850 or go to akickabove.com. Now, what am I wearing tonight? Thanks to a Kick Above, I look marvelous.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more of it. Give us a call, 501-663-1553 or 664-2992, or call our toll-free number, 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital beds, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic supplies, underpads, and more. Your durable medical supply center.
Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back. Head football coach Kent Last to lead the Tigers into a promising 2019 football season. Catch all of the great home game action. Join the Tigers for home games against West Memphis, Rogers Heritage, North Little Rock, Bryant, Kent, and Fort Smith Southside. Former Tiger player David W. Coleman brings you all of the exciting play-by-play analysis. Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back right here on JoinNetRadio.com.
You got it. He's Little Rock's answer to your aggravation. Joy Network.
The views and opinions expressed today on Black Focus Radio are not the views and opinions of the station, its management, or its advertisers. Now, let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb. All right, what's happening? Welcome to the show, the Friday edition of Black Focus Radio. You know how we like to say it, our issues, our solutions, our voices. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me if you want to talk to me. If you have something you want to add to the show, by all means, let me know. Okay, if you can do that for me. Robert Webb is he's not here yet. I'm assuming he's going to be here. He usually reaches out and lets me know he's going to be late, but he's running a little late today. So we'll talk to him in just a little bit. I've got tons and tons of things to talk about. Oh, I want to remind people, tonight at 6:40, we'll do the Little Rock Central broadcast will start. All of you Tigers out there, make sure you all tune into the broadcast. Go out to JoinNetRadio.com. This will not be streamed live on Facebook, so you'll need to go out and download the JoinNet Radio app. The pregame starts at at 7:40. The game 6:40. The game starts at 7. I'll be on the mic on the call with the play-by-play. So I hope you all will join me. You don't have to be a Tiger fan in order to enjoy this broadcast. But again, make sure you go out and download the Joynet Radio app so that you can catch the live broadcast. Good afternoon, Jackie. How are you? So it again starts at 6:40. This will be game 2. The Tigers are playing Rogers Heritage tonight. I don't remember. Well, I don't know. I know they haven't been 2-0 since I've been here. So this is a big opportunity for them to step up. As I told you last week, this team played a lot better than I've ever seen them play since I've been back, and even when they had the previous coaches. So they are definitely changing. I would like to say the worm is turning. It hadn't turned yet, but it is turning. So certainly you all need to get out there. Let's get involved with these Tigers. Look, the next week, I'm going to tell you all right now, I'm starting a GoFundMe account. Okay? Let me say that again. Next week, I'm starting a GoFundMe account. And this GoFundMe account is for anyone who would like to donate money to Little Rock Central for the football team. I will tell you that this money is strictly for the football team. All right? Because they don't get any money off of the gate over there. They don't get any money off of the concessions. And if this team is going to get back where it needs to be competitive, then it needs to build an indoor facility. I'm just going to be real with you. It needs an indoor facility. Okay? So here's an opportunity for that to happen, and you can be a part of it. So even if you don't have a business and you can't advertise on the broadcast itself, look, $10, $15, whatever the case may be, would be great to donate to these young men, so that Central can once again become competitive the way we grew up and knew it used to be. Okay, so let's make sure we jump into that, and so I'll be giving you more about that here in just a moment. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. Of course, we got Black Facts coming up here in just a moment, but I just want to remind you all tonight, week 2, the Little Rock Central Tigers are playing, and that's a great video, by the way, Daryl Swinton. Good job by you. They are playing Rogers Heritage, and I think that was the only game that they won last year. So let's make this happen, baby. Okay? 855-525-5683 is the number. We've got tons and tons of things to talk about. And I'll be honest, I don't have any particular headlines. Well, I always have headlines, but and I'll give you some here in just a moment, but we've got a lot of others that we'll talk about as well. Obviously, yesterday, Charles Starks losing his job, according to the Civil Service Commission. As I said also yesterday, that this thing is not over. So you all be aware of that. The bottom line, and we're hearing a lot of talk about millennials and the things that they're doing and so on and so forth. One of the things that they're not doing is voting. Okay? Let me say that again. One of the things that these millennials are not doing is voting. And if you really want to be effective, you all are supporting JC because you're saying, well, we need to have a place at the table. I'm going to talk about Jay-Z today, too. You're saying that we need to have a place at the table. One of the ways you can have a place at the table is vote. But you willingly turn that down. Does that make sense? It certainly doesn't make sense to me. So you want to get a place at the table, a seat at the table, then you got to get your butt out there and you got to vote. That's part of having a place at the table, if that makes sense. It may not make sense to you. You may not understand what I just said, but that's okay. All right? All right, so let's see what we want to do with our Black Facts.
Dynamic Black Facts. Our culture, our history, our people.
All All right, today's Black Facts is about world black history, or I should say black world history. Because, as I've told you over and over again, the first people on this earth were black. I mean, that's unequivocal now. Somehow or another, we trusted others and we began to give up our power because we understood, our ancestors understood, that the world was for everybody. It was only when white people introduced racism into the world that the world changed. So let me read this to you, and I think you'll find this fascinating. The first Romans were black people. You know who they were called? You've heard their names. They were called the Etruscans. The knowledge which we've gathered on the history of black civilizations has set the black race on a new path. A path to pride and self-awareness. Which African school would have ever thought Africans had secrets? None, actually. That is because, until this date, the curriculum of many African schools is decided by European governments. Let me read that sentence again. Until this date, the curriculum of many African schools is decided by European governments. The first humans on earth were black people, and since that is so and has been proven by historians, scientists, and archaeologists, it is safe to agree that black people dominated many parts of Europe for thousands of years and thousands of years before Europeans moved in. Italy, which is known for housing Rome, was originally inhabited by black people, who were referred to as Etruscans. Legends say they were descendants of refugees from the fallen city of Troy, led by the swarthy black-skinned prince Aeneas, after the city fell to the Greeks. Whether this legend is true or not, the pieces of evidence below clearly point that Rome was first owned by blacks. The statues and art of the Etruscans revealed them to be Africans, black people. History shows that they were a sensual and creative people. The city of Rome was originally known as Ra-Uma, which means a place protected by Ra. The worship of Ra, undoubtedly by the Etruscans, means that they most likely had a spiritual, physical, and cultural link to Kemet, ancient Egypt, or Phoenicia. In archaeology, findings show that two African peoples, the Siani and the Liberi, occupied ancient Italy. The Roman writer Virgil revealed that the Pelasgians and the Cometians, black people who settled in southern Greece, also occupied Palatine, one of the 7 hills of Rome. The Romans later became a Latin people and became a mixed race. But the African element played a major role in Rome's history. The blacks were everything from charioteers to soldiers, generals, and emperors. Rome's famous oracles were the Sibyls, African prophetess, who wrote the famous Sibylline prophecies. These writings were later plagiarized by Christians. Let me read that again. Okay? Rome's famous oracles were the Sibyls. They were called African prophetesses. They were prophets. They were women. They wrote the famous Sibylline prophecies. These writings were later plagiarized by Christians. It was the African Sibyls who built the original Vatican, which was a temple to Mami Wata, the goddess of the sea. Remember the black fact about Mami Wata? Who is Mami Wata? Mami Wata was a goddess of the sea who was, guess what? The original mermaid, who was a black goddess. Boy, I love history, man. I just, woo. See, and here, let me make a quick point here. So a couple of weeks ago, we talked about Mami Wata. Remember when all that stuff came down about the black girl being chosen as the new mermaid? And I gave you historical references to Mami Wata, the original mermaid that was worshipped by Africans. Now, I'm making a point here. So I'm reading a total different story about the Etruscans in Italy. And there's a reference in this article about Mami Wata, the same goddess that I was talking about that Africans worshipped decades before Christians even lived. Now, what's my point here? My point here is that when you're doing research, this is how you can verify that things are legit, because it is referenced in different categories or different writings by entirely different people. But I digress. I'm sorry. I just love it when history comes together. Now, if you don't believe me, go look up Mami Wata. It's spelled M-A-I-W-A-T-A. Let me move on. Now, before we go further, we must state that many accounts about the origin of Rome that is found on the internet or even in modern books are lies. They are called Caucasian versions to usurp the true identity of the Etruscans, who occupied Etrura, ancient Rome, Greece, and part of the Aegean. The Albanos, or Caucasians, who were called the Latins, started to migrate from the Euro-Asian plains in Italy. They most likely traveled with the Hellenist people into Greece, and then moved further into Italy, which was a black territory. The contact between Caucasians and the black inhabitants of Italy were chaotic, and the Caucasians were violent and invasive. Where have we heard that before? It is important to note that the first original black inhabitants were not just limited to Italy, but stretched to Greece and the Aegean area. When the threats of violence from the white invaders increased, the blacks of these areas formed a coalition. A large number of them packed up their belongings, boarded their ships, and moved out of their lands. Some of the people stayed back to defend their lands and deal with the white Etrura. The Etruscans, black owners of Rome, had a unique way of building their homes and cities. They built their homes on steep hills, which were surrounded by thick walls. Caucasian Roman mythology claims that the white Romans built the first walls, but according to factual history and accounts of the Etruscans, the blacks built the ancient walls of Rome and the Vatican. To fully understand and possess the entire documents to the important history fact, you can click on this particular link. It gives more details and accounts of pictures, archaeological points, and to disprove the Caucasian historians who keep lying and distorting history to discredit the black man's achievements and history and heritage throughout history. And that's our Black Fact for today.
Listening to Black Focus Radio for more dynamic Black facts, our culture, our history, our people. On JoyNetRadio.com.
I ain't saying it, but there are a group of people that have a history of violence. Now that doesn't mean you have to continue being violent, but it certainly concerns me that as we live in today's time, that violence seems to be rearing its ugly head. I call on my white brothers and sisters to stand up with us and say we're no more. Racism is done. It's over. Because after all, you all are our children. You all evolved from us. Okay? This world evolved from us. That's not a bad thing. It really isn't. It's not a bad thing. The Etruscans gave Rome what it is today. Africa gave the world what it is today. It's okay to recognize your heritage. So if you want to read that article, that is on my wall. Please, by all means, go out. It is a great, great article. It is called The First Romans Were Black People, called the Etruscans. And there's another link inside the article that you can click on that will give you more information. Okay? All I'm trying to do is educate people. All I'm trying to do is make sure people understand that, when Jesse Jackson used to have that call, we are somebody, you are somebody. I don't think Jesse really knew what he was saying. But now that we know history, now that we know culture, now that we can go back and read for ourselves and do our own research, you are somebody. You really are somebody. You need to stand up and be proud about that. You need to tell your children about it. You need to sit down. If you have children or grandchildren, please go and read this article to them. Sit down and say, hey, look, when you study Rome, understand that the Etruscans built Rome. If you have kids in junior high and high school, you should be telling them, hey, look, the Etruscans, when you study world history and geology, just remember that Etruscans built Rome. That's the only way that we're going to solve this psychological programming that we've been put under by slavery. You had to be psychologically programmed in order to be the majority, yet you refuse to fight the minority. You even heard in this article, many of the Etruscans, when they began to be invaded by the white people, many of them packed up and moved. They didn't want to fight, to their detriment. Some fought, but the majority of them packed up and moved. It's in our nature. It's the same when whites first arrived in Africa. Many people say, well, why did we even invite them into Africa? The reason we did that is because black people have a loving nature. Oh, you don't believe that, right? Yeah, there's a lot of violence and killing. But black people overall have a loving nature. Think about this. How many of you all have had a relative to marry someone white? Or to marry someone outside of the race? How many of you all? Quite a few, I'll bet you. Who accepted that white person first? Was it the black family or the white family? In most cases, it was the black family. What about a relative being gay or homosexual or lesbian? Who accepted that family first? It was usually the black family. We are a trusting people. That's why white people being paranoid about 2042, they're afraid that, hey, look, once we lose the majority, we're going to suffer the same atrocities that black people did. Black people are not like that. You know how I know that? Give you another fact. What are black people doing? The black people are worshiping your white God. Hello? Black people are refusing even today to fight for themselves. They are what? Turning the other cheek. I'm just saying. So if you don't teach your children history, nobody's going to teach them history. You gotta have them to put that PlayStation down. And here's the thing about it. You can use the PlayStation for history. You can go out and buy games about black history. Why aren't you doing that? You know why this is important? Because your children are growing up thinking that nobody gives a damn about them. Your children are growing up thinking that we made no contributions to this world. These are your children, not my children, because my children didn't grow up that way. But your children are. Because they are going to schools and they are reading history books that give no credit to black people whatsoever. None. And you are allowing that to happen. Why would you do that? All you got to do is sit down and look. Here's the funny thing about it. Once you start reading black history to your children, guess who else begins to learn black history? How much better of a Christian would you be if you knew where those people came from in the Bible? Look, I understand the origins of Christianity. But if you believe in that the way many of you all say you do, how is it that you don't even know where those people came from? If you read and study the Bible, you have to know where those people came from. That's part of what it's all about. So studying your history, and by the way, the Bible is one of the best historical references. Look, when I did my research, a lot of people refer to historical things in the Bible. It's one of the best historical pieces of literature that's out there. See, that's how I look at the Bible. I look at the Bible as a historical document. I don't look at it as a spiritual document. If you do, that's fine. I'm not mad at you. Don't be mad at me. I choose to worship a different way than you. That's America. I can do that. I believe in the Constitution, even though it wasn't written for me. But I use it as a historical document because there's so much history in that Bible. It tells you who the people are. You just don't know it. The Old Testament, that's part of the reason many churches don't want to teach the Old Testament anymore, particularly white churches. Hello? Anyway, speaking of history, since we're around the world, let's talk about Belgium for a minute. Then we'll take a break. So this article was dated, and I missed this article because I've been hell on wheels against Belgium. You know, Belgium is that country that had King Leopold. Remember him? King Leopold killed millions of people. And not only that, he would chop the hands off of others. And then in Belgium, they had a festival where, I don't forget what they call it, but where they sell chocolate hands. Didn't think that was funny. I still don't think it's funny. But Belgium apologized on Thursday for kidnapping, segregating, deporting, and forced adoption of thousands of children born to mixed-race couples during its colonial rule of Burundi, Congo, and Rwanda. Now let me ask you a question. How did those kids get mixed race? The white invaders impregnated, raped in most cases, the black women from Burundi, Congo, and Rwanda. And then you deport them? The apology the apology is the first time that Belgium has recognized any responsibility for what historians say was the immense harm the country inflicted on Central African nations, which it colonized for 8 decades. Prime Minister Charles Michel offered the apology on Thursday afternoon in front of a plenary session of Parliament, which was attended by dozens of people of mixed race in the visitors gallery. Throughout Belgium colonial history, a system of targeted segregation of Metis and their families were maintained by the Belgian state, and acts were committed that violated the fundamental rights of people, he said, using the term mixed race people. This is why, in the name of the federal government, I recognize the targeted segregation of the mixed race people and who were victims under Belgian colonial rule in Africa and the ensuing policy of kidnapping after independence, he added. In the name of the federal government, I present our apologies to the mixed race stemming from the Belgian colonial era and to their families for the injustices and the suffering inflicted upon them. I also wish to express our compassion for African mothers from whom the children were taken. The Prime Minister said that Belgian government would make resources available to finance additional research on the issue, open up its colonial archives for people, and offer administrative help to those seeking to gain access to their official records and seeking Belgian nationality. Over the past year, Belgium has taken a number of steps to reassess its colonial past. The apologies also come at a time when politicians across Europe are under pressure from a growing African diaspora and a younger generation that wishes to shed a new light on colonial history in order to tackle latent racism and discrimination in European society. Hello? Do y'all understand what I just read? In other words, at least Belgium is saying, hey, we messed up. We apologize. Now, you need to start paying these people. When is America going to step up and say, hey, we messed up. Sorry. I apologize. I'm just saying. It's far past time, folks. Every one of you ought to be talking about reparations. Every one of you. You ought to be teaching your children that your ancestors were stolen, they worked for free, and this country did not pay them. And they deserve back pay. So that when you die and pass off, they will continue the fight about reparations. You got to start talking about this. You got to start talking about it. 855-525-5683 is the number. I'm going to take a moment here and play about 4 minutes from Dr. Martin Luther King about reparations. Because y'all love y'all some Dr. King, don't you? All of y'all follow Dr. King, don't you? You know, whenever Dr. You always quoting Dr. King. Oh, you know, Dr. King was nonviolent. Oh, Dr. King. So I'm gonna play you a quote from Dr. King because I think it's important for you to hear it. Okay? Martin Luther King Jr. talks reparations, white economic anxiety, and guaranteed income in a previously unheard speech. So let's check this out. Let me get it queued up here. We'll check this out here in just a second. Think about that. I bet y'all never knew Dr. King talked about reparations. Ain't that something? It sure is. It is important for you to understand that just because you okay with it, everybody else ain't okay with it. And there should be compensation. There should be compensation. Let's take a listen. Now, this speech is excerpts from Charleston's.
Stands in glaring contrast to our scientific and technological abundance. The problem is, my friends, that we have learned to fly the air like birds, and we have learned to swim the seas like fish, and yet we haven't learned to walk the earth like brothers and sisters. Racial injustice is still the black man's burden and the white man's shame. So wherever we live in America, we have to face the fact honestly that racial discrimination is present. So don't get complacent. Certainly we've made some strides. We made some progress here and there. It hasn't been enough. It hasn't been fast enough. Although we've come a long, long way, we still have a long, long way to go. In 1863, the Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery through the Emancipation Proclamation signed by Abraham Lincoln. But the Negro was not given any land to make that freedom meaningful. You know, it was something like having a man in jail for years and years, and then you suddenly discover that this man is innocent. Go to him and say, now you are free. The man's been unjustly jailed for 35 or 40 years, and you just put him out of jail saying, now you are free. Don't give him any bus fare to get to town, no money to buy any clothes, no money to get something to eat. This is what happened to the black man in this country. I can't limit my concern to the middle class. I can limit my concern to this particular situation where a Negro comes and says, I'm the first this. I'm just tired of the first Negro. I want some seconds and some thirds and some fourths. Civil rights movement has to address itself to this, and the nation has to do it. You see, we are such a richness and an affluent nation. We often don't see the poor. There are some, you see, most white people can't see the poor because they live in the suburbs. And then they get in town in these big cities on expressways. They don't know nothing about Watts. They've never been there. They don't know anything about Buck and Cleveland, or the west side, or the south side of Chicago, or Holland. They've never seen it. And they allow the poor to be punished. And a lot of Negroes, you know, who have somehow sailed or floated out of the backwaters, or the muddy waters, and they've kind of been able to ease out into the fresh-flowing waters of the mainstream, have forgotten the stench of the backwater. And I can hear a voice saying, that water was not. I was hungry, and you fed me not. I was naked, and you clothed me not. I needed shelter, and you didn't give it to me. I needed a drink of water. And wow, that's 3/4 water you made me pay a water bill.
That's Dr. King on reparations. 1967, July 30th. Less than a year before he was assassinated. You see, what I'm trying to get you all to understand about history is that what you're taught about Dr. King is not always true. Because see, Dr. King began to have a metamorphosis. And this was part of that metamorphosis, is to understand that, wait a minute, we haven't been paid for what we owe, what we're owed. They didn't take care of us. As he said, look, even today, we're seeing every day, and I thought it was, when I listened to this piece last night, it was almost like he said it yesterday. Think about it from this perspective. How many young men, or how many people as of late, have you seen that was released from jail who have been exonerated because they found out that they didn't commit the crime? We're seeing it almost every day. The Innocence Project has made a mission of finding innocent people in jail. But there's one caveat as opposed to what Dr. King was talking about. See, Dr. King said, imagine a man spending 30, 35 years in jail, and then you release him, you don't give him bus fare, you don't give him a drink of water, you don't give him a change of clothes, you just open the doors and say you're free. What are the odds of that man to be successful? What are they? But here today, when they find that a prisoner has been exonerated, I just read yesterday where this guy got $10.6 million. That at least he can at least go back and be reparated. Oh my God, when I thought about this yesterday, I was like, that's it right there. When we talk about precedents, when we talk about someone doing a wrong to someone, every time someone has went to jail and has been released and they have been awarded a settlement because of the wrong that was done against them, that's reparations. Dr. King was before his time. He didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't understand, but he knew that, hey, how could you release millions of people to freedom and you give them nothing after they had worked for 400 years for free? And you got idiots out here saying, we don't need reparations. Please, go to my wall. Download that piece. Send it to your friends. Send it to your relatives and let them know that, yeah, even Dr. King believed in reparations. They've never told you that. You know what? I've never heard this piece. I never heard it until last night. Now, I'll be honest, I didn't go through it and listen to a lot of Dr. King's speeches, but I haven't heard that one. I have not heard that one. Wow. That is mind-boggling. Dr. King was for reparations. I bet y'all didn't know that, did you? Did y'all know Dr. King was for reparations? Anybody? Bueller? 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me. We're going to take a break. When we come back, more information on the Friday show. You're listening to Black Focus Radio, our issues, our solutions, our voices on JoyNetRadio.com.
James F. Swindoll provides our clients the personal care and attention that larger law firms cannot offer. Our experienced attorneys have brought hundreds of cases to verdict in state and federal court and recovered millions for our clients. If you or a loved one have been injured or have property wrongfully damaged, we may be able to help. Do not hesitate to contact our firm anytime for a free attorney consultation. Call 1-800-848-1290. That's 1-800-848-1290. Or email inquiries@arkansas-personal-injury.com. Our law offices are centrally located at 212 Center Street in Little Rock. That's the law offices of James F. Swindoll, personal injury and products liability attorney serving Arkansas since 1977.
Mitchell Funeral Home welcomes all of Arkadelphia and Arkansas to connect with a family-owned and operated service provider in Clark County since 1966. At Mitchell Funeral Home, they understand that the funeral is a celebration of a life and legacy, so the entire staff takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional services they provide. Cremations, funeral planning, burial policy, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are just a few of the services they offer. Flexible packages are available as well. Mitchell Funeral Home appreciates the trust and confidence placed in them and will continue to enhance their services so as to serve you better. Call now. Get connected. 870-246-2611. That's 870-246-2611. Call, click, or come by. MitchellFuneralServices.com. Don't wait till we're needed. Call us now. Let's walk through this together. 870-246-2611. It's quality you can appreciate and service you can depend on at Mitchell Funeral Home.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more of it. Give us a call at 501-663-1553 or 664-2992 or call our toll-free number 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital beds, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic supplies, underpads, and more. Your durable medical supply center.
LeBron James is the greatest player we've seen this generation. You have to be careful when you start saying, and so he wasn't as good as Mike, but he wasn't as good as Magic. Every generation you get that. You begin to sound like that old man that lives down the street, and every time you walk on his yard, or you even walk by his yard, he's on the porch, and he's got this little perfect finger, he's like, get off my lawn! Get off my lawn! Join the weekly sports magazine every Saturday, 8 to 10 a.m. on JoyNetRadio.com. Get off my lawn!
All right, welcome back to the show. LaTanya says she has heard that piece. I haven't. He said that's why they wanted him dead, because he was going to Washington to get his check. I agree with you. When he changed his attitude, that was a big difference. When Dr. King said, hey, look, we need to get the you notice even in that piece, he said he's not even concerned about the middle class any longer. He's reaching out to the poor people, the poor folks. That was July 30th, 1967. He was assassinated the very next year, August 4th. He began talking about reparations, the importance of it. I mean, that piece is profound. It is profound when you really think about what Dr. King was saying. Many of you all out there love Dr. King. Come on now. Come on now. See, this is a classic example of how they pick and choose things for us to hear. And when you don't go back and research and do your history, sometimes you get called butt out. That is what has happened to us. They made Dr. King out to be this martyr, but this martyr who was all about, oh, just get along with everybody. No, he wasn't. Dr. King began to realize that he had begun to lead his people into a burning house. Those are his words, not mine. We need to wake up, folks. I'm going to tell you. We need to participate in the process. You can't tell me that you're standing. All these people. Well, you know, Jay-Z got to get a spot at the table. Well, your spot at the table is voting, but you don't even vote. Everybody want to talk about getting a place at the table. Your place at the table has already been carved out for you. It's called voting, and you all don't vote. So stop this mess about a place at the table. You don't give a damn about a place. It's a common phrase. It's a unique phrase now that it's easy to say. You know why? Because it reminds me of black on black crime. When you wanted to talk about guns and violence, the first thing white people used to say is they want to talk about black on black crime. But they don't want to talk about white on white crime. That is in percentages is in the same category. It's about voting. It's about being a seat at the table. If you want to have a seat at the table. But see, that's the new catchphrase now. Well, you know, Jay-Z got to get a seat at the table. What do you know about a seat at the table? Do you vote? So it's okay for Jay-Z to have a seat at the table. Don't you want to sit at the table? Hell, I do. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with me. I mean, that is a profound piece. You know, I love when I discover nuggets. And you know what I do when I'm driving around, I might be driving to the station or just anywhere, that nugget pops into my head again, and it just makes all the sense in the world. That analogy that Dr. King used in that piece about releasing a prisoner from prison without giving him any resources whatsoever is ludicrous. It's ridiculous. And today, when they release prisoners, particularly when they've been done wrong, they pay them. Even when you get out of prison, they have all kinds of stuff. Even if you were in there for a crime, they have all kinds of stuff for these guys now. So you won't contribute to the recidivism rate. But when they release black people in America, they didn't even bother to apologize. The Prime Minister of Belgium has apologized to the atrocities that they committed in Central Africa. Now, if you're really serious, you need to cut them a check. Just like you need to cut me a check. I'm just being real with you. We need to stop this silliness. Look, folks, every day, look, and the reason I'm bringing this up, and tell you what, let me take a quick break. I'm going to let my co-host in here in a moment. Let me just take a quick break, and I'll be back here in just a moment.
You alright, man? You alright? Damn, you on fire today, man. I should have stayed out. I should have stayed home, man. You on fire after this.
All right, welcome back to the show. I had to let my dog in.
What's up, dog?
What's
you
up,
on
man?
fire. Sure. I ain't gonna say nothing. You gonna sit there and watch it.
Oh man.
You fire.
You can go get me something to drink. I'll take a shot of I think 1800 would be good. You know.
There ain't gonna be no more radio going on today, player.
The blonde would be great. Okay. But I'm just saying, man. I mean, that piece about Dr. King was just awesome. I had not heard that piece.
You hadn't heard that?
That particular section of that piece.
Really?
I don't know why. I mean, I've listened to tons and tons of his speeches, but when I heard it yesterday, I said, man, I'm going to talk about this tomorrow because it speaks, because we've never heard anybody talk about Dr. King wanting reparations. We've never heard that.
Yeah, nobody wants to talk about that.
Exactly. They want to talk about him being this lovey-dovey, come on, man, yeah, group hug.
Teddy Pendergrass.
Yeah,
Rights.
group hug. You know,
right.
This was July 30th, 1967, just barely, 10 months before he was assassinated.
It explains everything.
It explains everything.
I mean, same thing with Fred Hampton. When you start talking about uniting people and bringing them together, and you talk about how that looks economically, then there were some folks that got uncomfortable about that, I'm sure.
Well, by the way, you can go out and check this out. It is on my wall, 855-525-5683 is the number. I'm just saying, folks. And we're going to talk about Jay-Z a little bit next hour as well. I still have some stuff for him. So we'll get into that here in just a moment. By the way, speaking of voting, Ohio, the state of Ohio. See, this is what I'm talking about, your seat at the table. Y'all don't even give a damn. But you want to run around and holler about Jay-Z's seat at the table. Hell, you ain't getting fed. You ain't getting paid. Jay-Z is.
You ain't eating.
See, but here's an example. Ohio is set to remove more than 200,000 people from their voter rolls. Now, why do you think they're purging voters? Because I would argue that the majority of those purgers are black people. And you know who black people are not going to vote for, right? Okay?
Are you insinuating I got to vote for Republicans?
I'm pretty sure that if you got some common sense, you're not voting Republican. If you vote. But you don't care. Here's your seat at the table in Ohio. Republican states are doing this all across the country. Here's your seat at the table right now, but you don't want it. But you'll cheer Jay-Z and say, when he's selling you out, Jay-Z, a seat at the table. Hey, Jay, can I get a crumb? No, nigga, get away from me. I don't know you. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Dr. King said it in that piece. Y'all moving out to the suburbs. Y'all don't even want to be with your own people. And then you get mad when somebody kill your people. They ought to be killing you. You ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah, I think you've been a little too harsh on my people right now.
You're not an advocate. They ain't your people anymore. I'm just being real, man. There are too many things going on right now, man. If your small space at the table, it may be small, but together it's huge. Is your vote? It's your vote. Combine it together, you can make things happen. Oh man, I ain't gonna vote, man. He ain't gonna do nothing for me. You know, it's already, the fix is already in. Okay? If you have that defeatist attitude, then guess what's likely gonna happen to you? You're going to be defeated.
But Dave, are we gonna fight about this again? Are we really gonna have a discussion about this again? Because I keep telling you, I feel these cats on that, man. Why am I voting for you? What am I gonna get? Now you know what? I can see what whoever I vote for when they win. I can see what they get. But what I'm gonna get? I should just be happy that I went out to vote for somebody. That's it. I should be.
No.
I should be content with just voting for them.
No.
Because it ain't like I'm getting nothing from it.
When you vote, a vote comes with responsibility.
What's my responsibility when I vote? Hold on, Dave. Now, hold on. Now I got to vote and I got to do some other stuff too. Come on,
Is that
damn,
too hard for you to have a little
damn,
responsibility
Dave.
with your vote?
Really, Dave?
So with your vote,
Hold on, Dave. The person I voted for, what responsibility they got to me? I got a whole lot of damn responsibility. They ain't got none, right?
Well,
Come on, Dave.
if you let me answer the question, all right. What responsibility they have to you is that they know that you're a voting person. And I need you to vote for me if I'm going to stay in this office. So I'm going to do the things that you need me to do. Okay? whatever is necessary that community states you need to do. But the way it is right now, because they know you don't vote, then guess what? The Koch brothers, NRA, and all these other lobbying groups, they own them. And even with that, they couldn't own them if, in fact, you'd vote their asses out. That's why I don't believe in term limits. We could all have, term limits are your vote. But the problem is that you're not educated enough, or you don't want to be educated enough to understand the power of your vote. That's all I'm saying. Because see, once you accept that power, then you'll act on it responsibly. And then you'll understand how this process works. You don't get in office without my vote. Period. I don't care how much money people give you.
They got in office without the vote.
No, they didn't. Who got in an office other than an appointment without somebody voting for them? Nobody.
So you make the. I think you're making the argument that I need your vote to win, and unfortunately, I don't. See, the thing we fail to realize about politics is the greatest game in the world. You know what I mean?
Oh, it's a game. Yes, right.
The great thing about politics is if you do nothing and you're cool with everybody, you can get money. But you can't do nothing. You gotta be vanilla, right? So if I'm vanilla going in, I noticed to get in, I had to be vanilla, right? When I get in, what am I gonna be?
I'm gonna be
even more vanilla because I know I want to stay in. And the way I got in was being vanilla, and everybody wanted to give me their money. So to stay in, I can't get chocolate.
How did you get in?
I can't get swirl.
How did you get in?
I gotta stay vanilla.
How did you get in?
I got in because I had money.
No, you got in because somebody voted for you.
You seem to think the vote is important.
Okay.
I don't give a damn about your vote. I can buy your vote.
Let me tell you this.
I can buy your vote.
Either way, whether you bought it or not, you still needed that vote.
Not really.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, Tom Steyer is one of the richest men in the world. He's trying to run for president. In fact, he could pay for his whole run. You know what? He's not going to be president. So what votes is he buying?
Well, let me put it this way, Dave. If I got the money to pay the people, put me in the place where I need to be, where I can get your vote. Dave, I don't give a damn if you want to give me your vote or not. Because you know what, Dave? You don't read the newspaper. You don't watch TV.
Exactly.
You don't do anything.
Exactly.
So all I got to do...
In other words, you're an idiot. So it goes...
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
You said that.
Yes, you did. You're a money-grubbing idiot.
I didn't say that.
So,
you said
so here's my point, is it goes back to what I said earlier about being responsible for your vote. Because if you're responsible for your vote, you'll know that piece of crap is doing nothing but trying to buy your vote.
Nobody ever told me anything about being responsible.
Oh, God, there you go. Therein lies the problem.
Nobody ever told me that.
Therein lies the problem. You just made my point. I love it when you come in and make my point.
Why I care.
There you go. Exactly. You're right.
People want something for their vote. If I give you my vote, I want something in return.
Right.
Unfortunately, you never get it, but they still want it.
Because you don't demand it. So when what you want, I'm guarantee you that there's probably quite a few other people want the same thing.
Well, let's have a quick conversation. You ready for this conversation we're finna have? Okay. So you got people who are politically astute. Then you got people who are not. There's no in between. Right? There's no in between. Either you are or you aren't. You with me? Now, the deal is, I need those people who aren't.
Yep. Good point.
I need those people who they gonna vote because, like you say, Dave, that's what they should do.
No, I didn't say that.
And then you got those people who are politically astute.
I said you need to vote responsibly. There's a difference.
Then you have the people who are politically...
Don't put words in my mouth,
you
sir.
Have the people who are politically...
Just try to make your funky point.
Who are politically astute. You know what they do? They vote for the person. Because I used to go to school with him. My dad is brother's cousin, work with his mom, and all that kind of stuff. So what does he know about the issues? He don't know about the issues.
That's not being politically astute. Astute.
But that's how some of us vote.
But and therein lies the problem.
But Dave, how you gonna fix that, Dave? Because guess what, Dave? Until you fix that, you ain't gonna never get what you want.
Well, you might be right, but you know what? We ain't gonna ever get what we want until we fix it. We'll take a break. It's Black Focus Radio. Our issues, our solutions, our voices.
Hey,
on JoyNetRadio.com.
You so black and so deep. You so black and so deep.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Saints abroad, get ready from Sumter, South Carolina. It's Minister Lee Burgess and Resurrection. Minister Lee Burgess and Resurrection, a talented bunch of seasoned veterans, have been doing this a little while now, but have just released for your enjoyment their new single. Save me, Jesus. Save me, Jesus. Minister Lee Burgess and Resurrection. This new project is available on all digital outlets. Get yours now and catch up to what everybody's been talking about. Minister Lee Burgess and Resurrection. Call now, 803-847-6227. That's 803-847-6227. And enjoy Minister Lee Burgess and Resurrection. Save me, Jesus. Save me, Jesus. Hey, lock this number in. 501.
So how much longer did y'all stay with James yesterday?
501-4067.
We really didn't stay long after you left.
Get you some fabulous chicken wings delivered
I
right.
think we have another.
I'm talking Great American chicken wings with all of the flavors like spicy Cajun, honey hot,
Another 30 minutes.
atomic hot, ranch hot,
Not long.
hot buffalo, chipotle.
Did it accomplish what you thought or what you wanted?
That was his meat.
Yeah,
And you just included us. I didn't have a whole lot, man. I'm about making money, man. Fuck all that shit. Y'all go say a word. Y'all let me know how it goes for you. I'm paying my dues.
I'm saddened for you, my black brother.
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
We'll save a space for you in the ark. 'Cause we need you. You're that brother that's in the disaster movie that don't want to come. You know what I'm saying?
I know what's gonna happen to y'all.
You're that brother in that disaster, but brother, come on, you gotta come. Don't stay behind. There's nothing here for you. Come with us, Rob.
Don't pay for me.
Okay, go. Okay, go. Why you trying to make me go?
Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Theodore Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best deal.
Business owners, spread the word about your goods and services during the Little Rock Central Tigers 2019 football season. This is a great opportunity to inform the largest alumni base in the state of Arkansas about your great products. We'll professionally produce your ads or submit your own. You must act quick as a cat because spots are limited. Contact David W. Coleman at 615-554-0568 to support the Tigers. Proceeds to benefit the Little Rock Central High Tigers Athletic Fund.
You got it. Little Rock's answer to your aggravation. The Joy Network.
The views and opinions expressed today on Black Focus Radio are not the views and opinions of the station, its management, or its advertisers. Now, let's get ready to focus on our issues, our solutions, using our voices on Black Focus Radio.
Welcome to Black Focus, the show designed with our community in mind, where we focus on our issues, developing our solutions, using our voices. Central Arkansas, surrounding areas, and the nation. Get ready. Black Focus starts right now. Phone lines open at 855-525-5683. So here's your host, David W. Coleman and Robert Webb.
All right, welcome back to the show, the Friday edition of Black Focus Radio, our issues, our solutions, our voices. You can call us up at 855-525-5683. We always like to talk to you. We always like to hear. Certainly you can log on to Facebook. By the way, if you're looking for the feed on Facebook, you need to go out to the Black Focus page. We are steering everything, including the live feeds, to that page, okay? Probably should have been doing that a long time ago, but this will give us, it's funny when you start getting hits, because Facebook starts sending you ad requests, you know. So that tells you that people are listening, and I appreciate that. But we need more people listening. So make sure you get out there and you tag it. Make sure you spread the word, share it with your friends, like it. Also, make sure you go out to YouTube and do the same as well. Okay, so this hour, a couple of things I want to talk to you about. Talk a little bit about Jay-Z. We'll talk about the woman who went into PNC Bank and they dogged her. And she's now suing them. And also we'll talk a little bit, and we'll start this hour off with this particular item. Papa John's, Papa John's. Papa John's, Papa John's.
Don't say Papa John's did nothing else. Man, I love Papa John's. Don't say they did nothing else.
You love Papa John's?
I love Papa John's. Oh, they ain't do nothing. I gotta get on strike again.
Give me your wallet. I'm taking your black card, dog.
Man, come on, man.
I'm taking your black card, dog. I'm sorry, man. You can't be on this show ski-daddling and
What they
ski-daddling.
do this time?
Well, actually, it was something good,
Oh, really?
believe it or not, which
Okay, cool.
which kind of shocked me.
Okay, what you do?
He donated $1 million to HBCUs.
Who did?
Papa John's did.
Oh, Papa John's, not the guy that owned Papa John's.
No, the founder of Papa John's has donated $1 million to a historically black college in Kentucky after more than a year of
Ain't no
backlash.
historically black colleges in Kentucky.
I'm trying to see what's in Kentucky.
Ain't no damn black colleges in Kentucky.
News outlets report that John Snyder announced the donation to Simmons College of Kentucky.
There ain't no black college.
The college's president, Reverend, it's black,
Reverend Feelgood.
Reverend Kevin Cosby. I've never heard of this college.
No, you need
And its Board of Trustees chairman, Mark Lynn, emphasized that people should focus on Snyder's actions and not his
Is it
words.
Simmons University or Simmons College?
It says Simmons College of Kentucky. Let's see. Snyder stepped down. Okay, we know about it. Doesn't say where it
It's in
is.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay. I've never heard of this
I've never heard of this
HBCU.
school before. You know what? I'm telling you, man. Let's see what this school was created. This was a school that was created last week.
He must have created it. Snyder did. That low down dirty dog. See?
Dang, I did not know about this.
I've
It's a
never-
private historically black college in Louisville, Kentucky.
I've never heard of this college.
Started in 1879, Simmons College of Kentucky is the nation's 107th historically black college.
There you go.
I'd never heard of it.
I've never heard of it either. And look, I had a daughter who went to HBCUs, went to a lot of HBCU games. Man, I sure wish speaking of which, I think they're in Atlanta this weekend, TSU and FAMU. Oh man, you've never been to the Atlanta Classic, have you? Oh my God.
Is it the bum diggity?
Oh my God. It's held in Mercedes-Benz stadiums where the Falcons play.
Really?
And it's usually sold out.
Really?
Oh my God. Have you been to the Southern Heritage Classic in Memphis?
Yeah, I've been to that.
It doesn't compare to the Atlanta Classic. I'm going to tell you. The city, the ambiance, all of that. Woo!
Really?
Ooh, I'm sorry, I just had a flashback. Oh, wow. But anyway, Snyder did donate $1 million to an HBCU. I thought that was interesting. That company is hemorrhaging money.
Somebody said he donated to his family stuff.
You know, that college is hemorrhaging money. I mean, not the college, but that company. You know, Shaq has bought, I want to say, I think he bought 10 franchises for Papa John's.
Really?
I believe that's correct. I know he bought quite a few of them. But it's hemorrhaging money. Because here is a classic example of an implied boycott that's working. You know, I still boycott it. I've really never liked their pizzas anyway. You know, but after I realized what, you know, his support for Trump and all that other
Y'all
stuff.
for Papa John's player.
Huh?
I'm gonna have to say y'all out for Papa John's.
No, I'm a Marco's Pizza fan now.
What's Marco? Oh, I forgot we are Marco's Pizza.
Yes,
fans.
we are.
Marco's Pizza. fans.
Exactly.
We love Marco's.
We love us some Marco's
We
Pizza.
love some Marco's Pizza. We do. Hell with Papa John's.
That's what I'm saying.
Marco's the bomb.
Hey, Papa John can kiss my
Yeah.
you know what
He
I'm
kissed
saying.
my pepperoni.
There you go.
Kiss my anchovies.
So yeah, we Marco's Pizza people, man. I'm sorry.
We bought and paid for.
Yeah, like politicians.
Exactly.
Wow, I just learned something. Again, I love history. I never knew about this college.
I didn't either. I'm gonna have to do a little more research, bro. Because I believe
that boggles my
there's
mind.
something ain't right about that.
Man, I done been all in Louisville. I mean,
You know what? I've been through Louisville. I've never stopped in Louisville.
so you've never been to the Derby.
Never been to
It's
Kentucky.
one of those once in a lifetime things.
Yeah, never been. never had the desire to go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously, I was in sports, and I mean, we were a couple hours away. Kentucky is 30 minutes from the border. So, and then of course, my co-host was from Kentucky. But yeah,
was he white?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
No, I'm just asking. I was asking a question. I'm just curious.
There are black people in Kentucky.
There are black people in Kentucky.
Yeah, I did radio on a white radio station.
Really? That explains everything.
Oh, what you trying to say?
They know one day Coleman. I know the real.
No, they kept my. Trust me, I kept my black card.
I'm about to check and see if he's still the
And,
black.
and as a matter of fact, you know the bumper music that we played was typically R&B,
Really?
old school. Oh yeah,
No, get out of here.
dude, I didn't play. They didn't come for me with that BS. They knew it. But anyway,
Really?
good people. I had some good. Greg, my co-host, is one of my best friends. He's really good people. His daughter and my son grew up together. Went to the same college. It was funny. Sometimes Grace would be over in the corner asleep because we did morning drive. Grace, his daughter, that was her name. She'd be over in the corner asleep because we'd have to get there. I'd be there at sometimes 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then my son would be in the other corner over there asleep, knocked out. So they grew up on the radio together, which is pretty cool. 855-525-5683 is the number. Let's see what else. Black woman uses 153-year-old civil rights law to sue PNC Bank for racial profiling. So this sister goes into this bank, right? And this, this happened in Florida. And she actually was a political candidate. So that's one reason why you shouldn't really judge a book by its cover, because you don't really know who you're talking to. So she even admitted she was going into this bank in Tampa for a loan. So she dressed the part. She wore a collared shirt. She said, I didn't want my hair to be too distracting, so she pulled her hair back into a ponytail. All of those things, I guess she kind of dressed down. Because,
You saying she D-blocked?
Well, yeah, because, them black women be having them hips, and sometimes, when they walk, you kind of get, I feel hypnotized. So she dressed down, and she ran for the Florida House of Representatives. Let me tell you her name. Her name is Tatiana Denson. She's got that exotic name too. Yeah, that be her right there.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, she a little cutie wooty. So she goes into this bank, right? She was opening a business checking account.
Okay.
And of course, when you open a business checking account, they want to see your articles of incorporation and all that stuff. And she had all of that. She said, unfortunately, within 15 minutes of entering the bank manager began humiliating she had a humiliating interrogation. He says, why did you set up your business that way? Why would the IRS give you a letter? Denson said the branch manager asked skeptically and looked intently over articles of incorporation she had her lawyer to prepare for the meeting. He just kept doing everything to discredit the presentation of my business, which is weird. I already know, again, the prejudice that exists, but it seemed like I wasn't good enough to open a business checking account when I had everything I needed. After the manager began to ask what kind of people Denson's talent agency, and that's what she had, managed, and what genre of music they would explore, she expressed her dissatisfaction and requested to speak with a different representative. Okay? According to Denson, the manager refused and told her to leave his office or he would call the police, snatching her phone as she tried to record the incident. Denson said he then shouted out in the lobby, someone call 911. Interesting. So her lawyer, who has represented other black bank customers who also profess to being racially profiled during the attempts to cash checks, he said, I don't refer to it as racism. It's an implicit racial bias, and a lot of studies have been done on this, especially the law enforcement context where it's an overt racism and it's even worse. So this happened to this sister. And, it's weird. I mean, obviously, I went to the bank and set up a business checking account. Long as I got my articles of incorporation, they might ask me what kind of business I'm doing. as curiosity. But other than that, they don't care. They don't get into all those details. The bottom line is they want to make sure that, hey, you're gonna put money in that checking account.
That's all they care about.
You know what I'm saying? How much you gonna deposit, Mr. Coleman? If I got 500 right here, I'm gonna put it in. I'm starting off in an account. Oh, okay.
They don't care about that. So I don't know why would they ask all of. They used to want her business.
Apparently not. Apparently not. So she about to get paid.
Any bank can hold my cash. I'm moving on, player.
Well, I prefer mine to be a black bank, but I'm just saying.
Good luck with that in Little Rock.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of which, why did Japanese Americans receive reparations and African Americans didn't? I won't go into that, but that's an interesting article that was released this summer. You might want to check it out. It's on my feed as well. What I want to do is talk a little bit about Jay-Z. Because all you folks last week, a couple of weeks ago, give him a chance. Give him a chance. Jay-Z. Well, I've always said that I have a problem taking my advice from a rapper, someone who sold drugs, someone who wrote bad lyrics about women, someone who contributed to this overall demise in our community through rap music. Call me biased. Maybe I'm an old fuddy-duddy. Maybe I am that man on the porch. Get off my lawn. Maybe I am that guy.
You are that good.
But I mean, it's kind of like the drug dealer has grown up. You know what I'm saying, dude? Did you reconcile all the pain and misery you caused by selling drugs to your people?
Why y'all going hard on Jay-Z?
Did you do that? So when Jay-Z got this, I told y'all when he sold us out to the NFL and undermined Colin Kaepernick, I told y'all that this was about money. It was all about that. Then they got this little company where they're gonna be selling T-shirts and stuff. Really, dude? Really, Jay-Z? So now Jay-Z's new social justice initiative gives $200,000 to a group with Trump-loving past. So you're going to give money to a group that supports Donald Trump? $200K, Jay-Z? Really? Really, dude? Oh, that's right. He's got a seat at the table, so he's playing both sides of the table. I get it. Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's okay, Jay.
I just need to do this one last time. I'm going to tell you one more time, Dave. Dave, now, some of this, we don't really understand, Dave.
I understand clearly.
Some of this we don't really understand. Mm-hmm. So, my thing is, let me tell y'all right now.
What is that I don't understand?
Let me tell y'all right now. Robert Webb is announcing right now that I'm a capitalist. Mm-hmm. And being a capitalist,
this is what
I'm going to support whoever. So, I'm going to support a Republican, and I'm also going to support a Democrat. Mm-hmm. You know why?
Why?
Because it's important for me to do that.
So, morals mean anything, mean nothing to you?
Hell no, I'm trying to get paid.
Man, that's sad. You know what? That's why our country is in the predicament that it's in. That's why our planet is burning and being choked to death by plastic because everybody want to get paid, but no one has morals. That's a problem. I'm sorry you have no morals, Robert. Where'd they go?
Well, I gotta have morals. I'm not trying to do that. I'm not trying to be morally superior.
I sure hope your mom isn't listening.
Really, you gonna try to do that today? Man, don't start that. Mom, do not text me if you listen, my mom. Swear on cheese and crackers. Hey man, I'm trying to make money.
Now, if you were in your mama's presence and you swore on cheese and crackers, you'd have a fat lip by now.
Nah, she would give me some bologna. Listen, man, none of that makes sense, Dave. Seriously, at the end of the day, I'm about making this bread, right? Yeah. So if I'm about making this bread, then that means that I'm going to support people on the left and the right. And the reason I'm supporting them is that I'm just trying to have some goodwill. Again, I need to air the people who are in positions of power. Now, we can sit here and say, I would never support him.
I would never support Donald Trump.
You wouldn't? You don't think so?
I know something.
I'm going to tell you something. So
I would never support David Duke. David Duke's running for Congress. Would you support David Duke?
If I was in Louisiana and I need him, yeah, I support him. I write him a check. Dude, I'm about my business. I ain't about what you talking about.
Robert, come back to us. Has anybody seen Robert Webb walking out there in a silhouette? When you send him in here, we need our Robert back. Rob, wherefore out there, Rob?
No.
Oh, God.
No.
See what y'all have done? See, you know what this is? Let me tell y'all what this is right here. Here is a black man who has worked tirelessly in our community. and you all turned your back on him. You all didn't support him. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's not it.
And now he's went over to the dark side. Luke.
No, that's not it.
Robert, I'm your father.
Listen. Okay, so if you're playing basketball, before the basketball game, you go up to the ref. You're like, "What's up, ref? How you doing? Hey, how's the family?"
What's that handshake for? Did you have something in that handshake?
Yeah, it's a little love. Show him a little love, man. You want to let him know, hey, listen. I played against old dude a couple of times. I know we have the tendency to throw elbows. I don't want to lose any more teeth because last time I played against him, I lost a couple of teeth. Can you watch and make sure I don't lose any teeth? Then you go to the other referee and do the same thing, right? Well, in politics, it's a little bit different. When you want to have that conversation because you want them to look out for you, you got to break bread with them, right? You got to break bread with them. Now, I ain't faulting Jay-Z for what he do. Who I'm faulting is us for not understanding what he doing. And if we wasn't about going to find a job, then we'd be down with that. Because hey, y'all, if you go get a job, you ain't thinking about supporting no candidate. You know why? Because you don't need them. Well, at least you don't think you do. Break bread. Break bread.
That makes no sense.
That's why I love all elected officials. I just want to say I love all elected officials.
Joan Adcock.
I love Joan Adcock. I love her with all my heart. Every heart I got in my body.
Dean Campiris.
I extra special love Dean. Gene Fortson. I love Gene Fortson. I love Kathy Webb. I love all these. I love white people's day. I just love me some white peoples. And I hope white peoples love me. Especially if I need them to pass something for me. I hope they love me with all their hearts.
Okay. Anybody else you want to? Anyone else you want to love?
I love everybody, Dave. I love Asa Hutchinson. I love Tim Griffin. I love Tommy Land. I love Tommy Land. I love John Thurston. Who else is there to love? I love Terry Hollingsworth. Who else is there to love? I love Eric Higgins. I love everybody, Dave. I ain't got no beef with nobody.
Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
It certainly is.
See? That's dirty.
I'm just saying.
That's dirty.
I'm just saying.
That's dirty.
Alrighty then. Well,
I love everybody.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, Dave. Seriously. Back to being serious again. And that brother's line of work. And the kind of moves he's making. It's important that he be connected to people who can help him at that level. Why would you not want to be connected to those people? I'm just asking.
even though they selling out your people, that's fine. As long as you getting paid.
Who?
You know, as long as you getting paid, that's okay.
So let me ask you something though. Let me ask you a quick question. Is Jay-Z doing something that can't nobody else do? I'm just asking. Is there something he's doing or has done that nobody else is capable of doing?
Latonya said, cut Robert's mic off.
Why Latonya get mad at me? Jeez, Latonya. See? Any other time you be over here loving on Dave, telling Dave, trying to get Dave back, but you ain't gonna get my back today. I might have him on this island by myself. I understand though. I ain't gonna be mad at y'all.
Again.
At the end of the day, man, this game is Monopoly. Now, if y'all want to play church Monopoly, y'all go ahead on with y'all morals.
It's certainly
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know, I ain't trying to take, be personal or anything like that. You know,
Why you turn me off?
I'm just saying.
Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
Oh, Jesus.
I'm just saying.
Oh, my God. Oh, I can't think of no more.
I don't mean no harm, brother. You know.
The most ridiculous thing you've ever heard?
Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying. You alright, man?
You keep playing it over. Why you keep playing it?
I don't know. I was just trying to get a point across.
Oh, You heard me, man. You got me crying. Oh, Jesus, you got me crying.
Well, you go ahead, Mr. Capitalist. Just do yourself a favor. Go out and read the New York Times
What am I
magazine.
reading? What am I reading?
Here's what it says. I'll just give you the title because it's a very extensive article, so I won't read it. But it's part of the 1619 project that they're doing. It says, in order to understand the brutality of American capitalism, you have to start on the plantation.
Well, what you need to read first, you need to go back and read the Bloomberg thing that said slavery was the problem, not capitalism. It was slavery was the problem. The slaves should have never came over here. That was the problem. They should have never put them boats together. They should have never put them boats together.
Should have never got on them boats.
No. They should have never got on the boats and came over here.
Should have never chained themselves in the gullies.
To do that.
Should have never chained themselves in the bows of those boats. Should have never laid side by side, never moved. Should have never peed and crapped in the place. Should have never regurgitated on the floor. And when the boat would rock from one side or the other, all that feces and stuff would run on them. No, they should have never done that. Go right ahead, sir.
Dave, can we just for once move on past this slavery thing?
Sure, as soon as you cut me a check.
But Dave, you haven't done any work for a check.
My ancestors have done plenty of work for a check. 400 years. Cut me a check.
But Dave, your ancestors have been paid.
No, they haven't.
For.
No, they haven't.
They were allowed to live in the greatest country in the world for free.
They were already here.
We gave them a ride. We did not charge them for the ride.
Wow.
Dave, hold on, Dave. We did not charge them for the ride here.
Yeah.
Okay? We did not charge them for the accommodations on the ride here.
Yeah, good. Didn't charge them for throwing them overboard and letting sharks eat them.
Did not charge them for any of that. We did not charge them for the...
Didn't charge them for raping little girls.
We did not charge for that.
No,
that was all
didn't.
given to you for free.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
that being the case...
Didn't charge them for raping little boys.
Dave, that being the case, Dave, you should be very appreciative.
Wow.
Should be very appreciative.
You know what I'm going to say, Massa?
Dave, you don't appreciate...
That was mighty white of you.
Black folks, y'all don't appreciate nothing. Y'all not appreciative.
Yeah.
Y'all the greatest country in America. Y'all get the same chance everybody else got.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Why is y'all fighting it?
Yeah.
Y'all just ain't good Americans.
You know, just
y'all just ain't good
Just
Americans.
let the assimilation happen.
Y'all ain't good Americans.
You know, it's kind of like when the aliens come in and they start kidnapping all the Americans, all the humans, and they put that pod on your head, and you just let it happen, and then you become like them. Or there's a few of us out there who's gonna resist the pod head. You know, we gonna fight the aliens.
Dave,
we gonna cut their little bug hands off.
1 second. Hey, all y'all who texted me, I hope y'all understand. This is me and Dave. This is not true. You know that, right? So quit sending me these stupid texts. Stop. Jesus. Jesus Christ. The capitalism part, very true. The part about slavery and accommodations, not so true. But I'm sure that's what people think, though, right? That's what they think.
Yeah.
We gave you a ride over here.
Yeah.
We gave you a ride over here. Gave you a nice accommodation on the way over here. I mean, you know, you was on our boat for 30 days.
Yeah, at
We
least.
did not charge you.
We didn't even feed you. Well, we did. If we did feed, we gave you a little gruel. You know that gruel. You know it's kind of watery and brown looking and lumpy. You know that stuff. We did give you gruel. That was mighty white on it.
I'm just saying, listen, y'all. It ain't got to be this way. Black folk, y'all can live with us. Y'all just got to obey us. If y'all obey us, we'll let y'all stay. Y'all can't be disrespectful to us. We've done so much for y'all.
And you got to vote for President Trump.
Every day.
Yeah, okay. I got your vote. 855-525-5683 is the number. That's how you get in touch with us. By the way, North Carolina court says the state's districts are illegal because of partisan gerrymandering.
What's partisan gerrymandering? There can't be no partisan gerrymandering. It's supposed to be. But you know what? This is what pissed me off. Democrats, when they get to write the lines, they write their lines how they want to.
It was never where you gerrymandered the districts.
You don't think so?
It was never to the point where, if it was, remember the Democrats in most states at one point were the majority. If they gerrymandered the districts the way the Republicans have done, why aren't they still in power? Because when you gerrymander districts, I mean, you're right. And to give you an example, they'll draw the lines where they'll take two black candidates or two black elected officials, and they'll combine the district and make them run against each other.
Yeah, that often happens.
So Democrats didn't do stuff like that, but Republicans they're so wonderful. I'm just saying. But at least they're going to look at that. Oh, here's one other thing that I wanted to bring up. We're going to get this guy on the show too. And Rob, you in the political area. William Hanson. You know who William Hanson is?
His name is familiar to me, Will Hanson.
He's a native of Camden. I bet he know a lot of people I know. I bet he knows some Tods, because there's like 5 million Tods down there in Camden.
Okay.
He lives in Hot Springs.
Okay.
He has a law degree, college teaching, community organizing. Says he will announce a Democratic candidate for the 4th District at noon. So that happened today, on Friday. Because this article is...
Black dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, saw that. Okay.
And he's running against Bruce Westerman. So maybe the Democrats in Arkansas are growing some cojones.
Why do you think so?
Because, in the past, they hadn't even ran people against him.
Well,
which is stupid.
I don't think it's so much about running people against him, but, I mean, if you're gonna run, you want to win.
Of course you want to win.
And so you don't want to take on a race like that. That's a pretty miserable race.
Well, if you're going to run, even if you don't win, you still need to make your presence known. So even if you don't win, that's why you find a lot of people who will run for office. Mm-hmm. Subconsciously, they know they're not going to win. Right. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. They don't tell you,
right,
but they know they're not going to win, only to be laying the groundwork for a future run.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So the fact that Democrats here in Arkansas just simply threw their hands up and said, "Oh, you know what? The Republicans got it. We're not running anybody." That was stupid. And they didn't just do it here in Arkansas. They've done it all across the country in some of the key Republican states. Really? They just simply said, hey, we're not going to even spend money in that state. We're not going to run anybody. And if, in fact, someone did run that was on the Democratic ticket, they didn't give them funding or didn't support them enough to give them funding. They just threw their hands up. The one thing that the Republicans did is that they attacked every seat they could. That's how you win this thing. You can't sit back and say, oh, Hillary did that. I'm not going to go to Michigan. I got Michigan sold up. To her folly.
But Hillary wouldn't.
Well, maybe not. But the point is that she took it for granted. The many of those states, Wisconsin, Michigan, many of those Rust Belt states, she didn't even go to. And that's my point, because some of them states were won by Obama. But she just said, oh, well, I ain't going to go to them. You can't take this for granted. But what is happening in Arkansas is part of the reason, look, Arkansas was probably, to some extent, more progressive than any of the Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, things of that nature. Here's why I say that. Look at Little Rock, Arkansas's history. Arkansas was the gateway to the West. Slaves came through Arkansas before they went west. And they would have stayed had it not been for John Carter, the John Carter incident. At that point, black people exited this state en masse. There were 2 incidents. The Helena thing in the 1919 and John Carter.
Oh,
Elaine.
Okay.
And history will bear me out on that.
John Carter was what? John Carter was
26
or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Up until that point, and when you go back and you read the history of John Carter, the writers say, because think about it from this perspective. Camp Robinson was right up the road. The only place that black people could come, the soldiers could come and spend their money during that time, was 9th Street. You see what I'm saying? So that money, that's why 9th Street was one of the meccas. 9th Street was on the Chitlin Circuit. You know what the Chitlin Circuit is, right?
Yeah.
9th Street was on the Chitlin Circuit. And the reason being was because all of those black soldiers was coming to 9th Street to spend their money. Then John Carter happened. And after that, everything changed in this state. So Arkansas initially had a history of being more progressive than them other states.
Well, don't forget about what happened in Harrison too. It's this book. This is a really great book, and I can't think of the name of it. Gonna save my life, but it talks about how you look at towns that have small black populations.
Mhm.
It tells you why they have a small black population, and usually that's because what happens is these communities, they go in for whatever reason and kill and burn the blacks' homes up, and they leave. So it's a great book. I'm gonna try to Google the name before we leave, but it's a really good book. I think people should take a read of it.
When I was reading accounts of Elaine and some of the people that were saying, I mean, this one lady said she actually went into this white woman's house and got her stuff.
Yeah, what stuff?
Not the white woman stuff. Though when they burned out many of those people, before they burned out the people in Elaine, you know they went in and raided their homes.
Took the good stuff. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She said she went into these white people's homes and got her stuff. You see?
Yeah, that's tough, man. That's always tough.
So what I'm saying is that we cannot afford to give 1 inch. And if you're going to run, then you need to run every race. And you need to support every candidate. There's plenty of money, and you got lobbyists just like the Republicans do.
If you ain't writing checks, you ain't doing.
I'm just saying.
Write a check.
So we're going to try to get William Hanson on the air.
All right, bet.
Maybe he'll come on because the Republicans won't come on with us. They might be scared of Robert. But he's a capitalist like them, so he got to fit right in.
They know I'm bad. I love Republicans. Do you know which one would you like to get? I'll call them all.
Tom Cotton.
Tom Cotton? Call him tonight. Tom, what's up? What's up, homie?
Did you call him Uncle?
I'll call him Uncle Tom no more. I just call him Brother Cotton.
You know, so I'm just saying, man. Which reminds me, Joshua Mahoney. You know who that is? Joshua Mahoney thinks there are enough reasonable Arkansans for him to unseat Tom Cotton.
Josh Mahoney.
What you thinking?
No, I just heard, Senator Elliott supported him early on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she supported him early on. So, yeah, we shall see.
Because I'm going to tell you, can you name one thing any of those congressmen or senators have done for Arkansas?
I can name a couple of things.
Specifically for Arkansans.
Yeah, they've increased the money that we can't think what the money is now, but yeah, they've increased it by a couple $1 million a year.
Wow.
That's one thing I know, and that comes to minority communities.
Wow. Can you tell me how that money has affected minority communities?
Well, unfortunately, Dave, as I said to you before, my friend, okay, the money comes in for black folk. White folk get it to hire white folk.
There you go.
But it's doing what it's supposed to do.
Hire white folks.
That's it. Doing what it's supposed to do.
There you go.
Black folk ain't creating no non-profits trying to get the money.
Yep.
Black folk just want the help.
It's funny you bring that up.
I'm kidding.
Funny you bring that up. In about 3 weeks, I'm gonna let's say the beginning of October, I'm actually gonna have another free nonprofit. How to build your nonprofit, and it's gonna be online, but it's gonna be it ain't gonna be free. It's gonna be $10. I'm just letting y'all know.
So you ain't giving away no more.
No, you got if you're interested, you got to pay. It's gonna be online, so you don't have to drive down here. All you need is a phone or a computer. You donate $10, the other money goes in my pocket. But if you want to know how to build a nonprofit, make a nonprofit, I'm going to give you that seminar again. All right? But it's going to prove a point that I've said before, is that black people ain't going to show up.
And you expect them to show up
because of what you just said. You just say black people ain't making no nonprofits.
No, why would they?
Okay, well, because there's money in nonprofits.
Black people don't care about that.
Okay.
Black people don't want money. They
There
don't
you
want
go.
money. They want to be with God in the hereafter.
There you go. There you go. 855-525-5683 is the number. We're going to go out and take another quick break.
I ain't going to do nothing to God tells me I'm supposed to start a nonprofit.
We're taking a break right now so I can give you all the opportunity to text Robert and get on him.
Let me tell y'all right now. If you text me right now during this break, I will never speak with you. No, I better not say that because y'all might.
What about is your mom?
Huh?
Exactly.
Mama ain't listening now because she was already listening. I'd have had like 6 or 7 of these little things.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a moment. You're listening to Black Focus Radio, our issues, our solutions, our voices on JoeNetRadio.com.
Hello to quality time at Marco's. Hello to being a game changer, an original. And to those who make it authentic, we say hello with the Founders Select Pizza, Old World pepperoni, sliced Italian sausage, mushroom.
When is the dedication, Tanya?
Fresh every day, and a sauce from the original Gianmarco recipe. Hello to an Old World original. Every store, every day, the Italian way. Hello, Primo.
Serving the families of Clark County and the surrounding
I didn't hear
areas
you.
since
Let me go ahead and get with
it's
Latonya
Mitchell
right
Funeral
now.
Home.
You didn't copy me
Understanding that a
today.
funeral is a celebration of life. The entire staff of Mitchell Funeral Home takes great pride in the caring, personal, and professional service they offer. Cremations, funeral plannings, burial policies, life insurance, notary, and monument sales are a few of the services we offer. Mitchell Funeral Home, Arkadelphia, 870-246-2611. Mitchell Funeral Home. Quality you can appreciate, service you can depend on.
Hi, I'm attorney Theodore Thompson from the Thompson Law Firm, and I want to help you.
Your page?
Whether it's criminal defense,
Run what?
bankruptcy, personal injury, or family law.
The
I
link?
want to help you.
Yeah, it should be on the Black Focus page.
5095. Don't face your legal issues alone. You need an attorney whose primary objective.
Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at it. It's on Black Focus page.
Our office address is 415 North McKinley, Suite 710 in Little Rock. I'm attorney Theodore Thompson, and I want to provide you with the best legal representation.
I'm so glad I found the Kick Above. It's like my very own personal training studio. A Kick Above removed the guesswork and intimidation and offered me a very supportive and structured environment specific to my personal goals. Kim Leverett and her certified personal trainers even offer nutritional guidelines for my personal workout. It's about me at a Kick Above. Call 501-868-8850 or go to akickabove.com. Now, what am I wearing tonight? Thanks to a Kick Above, I look marvelous.
Hi, this is Alvin from Habibi's 4317 East Broadway in North Little Rock. We still have the green top at your very next stop. The same great service, but more hours. Give us a call, 501-663-1553 or 664-2992, or call our toll-free number, 1-877-HABIBI-1. Diapers, pull-ups, hospital beds, wheelchairs, Simply Fit, diabetic supplies, underpads, and more. Your durable medical supply center.
Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back. Head football coach Kent Left to lead the Tigers into a promising 2019 football season. Catch all of the great home game action. Join the Tigers for home games against West Memphis, Rogers Heritage, North Little Rock, Bryant, Cabot, and Fort Smith Southside. Former Tiger player David W. Coleman brings you all of the exciting play-by-play analysis. Hell to the old gold, hell to the black. The Little Rock Central High football Tigers are back right here on JoeNetRadio.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. 855-525-5683. And by the way, we're not going to have any talk show hosts on Listen to Crime, okay? Just letting y'all know. You know.
What?
I'm just saying, we ain't going to have no talk show host. Well, this is more like listener on talk show host crime. 855-525-5683. Want to remind you all tonight at 6:40 we'll start the Little Rock Central broadcast. They are playing Rogers Heritage tonight. Don't miss me on the call, but more importantly, don't miss the Tigers. I got a feeling about this team. If they win tonight, there might be a little something going on. I'm just saying. So I got confidence in them. Let's see what happens. But man, this team is doing some stuff. And if they can pull this thing off tonight, then we might be back to the old days. I'm just saying. At least headed back. And I think eventually we are going to get there. We just got to make it happen, baby. 855-525-5683. as is the number. Let's see, we'll do that one. Latanya mentioned the Elaine Massacre Memorial. As a matter of fact, they're building, and I'm looking at a rendition of the memorial, and it'll be dedicated on September 29th. As a matter of fact, I'm going to try and go now that I see that. That would be, let's see, what day is that? Let me look real fast. That is on a Sunday. So that would make a nice little drive to West Helena on Sunday for this memorial, which would be cool. So just letting you know that. Let's see. After the publication offers, I was just looking at something here. Let's see. Here's something from Wendell Griffin about this. Let me just read this real fast. I'll read a piece of this. Is anyone else offended, if not outraged, that a memorial to black people from Elaine in South Phillips County is to be dedicated in Helena, 25 miles away from Elaine, on ground that also include a monument for Confederate soldiers? Would anyone seriously propose placing a memorial to the people recently massacred in El Paso, in Dallas, or Allen, Texas, home of the man who planned and carried out the massacre? Helena is where the white people who instigated and led the 1919 massacre lived, ran their businesses, and plotted the worst massacre of black people in the history of Arkansas. I denounce the Helena Memorial as a blatant and shameless demonstration of white supremacy, an insult to the massacre, and an affront to the black people of Elaine, whose kinfolk were murdered, robbed unjustly, tried as criminals a century ago. Helena is where the Elaine 12 were given sham trials by a white judge and jury and were prosecuted by a white prosecutor. Helena is where no white person was arrested, charged, or tried for planning and carrying out mass murder. Jesus reserved his most scathing criticism for hypocrites who made a show of piety while neglecting justice in Matthew 23. I join Jesus in condemning an upcoming dedication in Helena as a despicable affront to decency. In the name of Jesus, I curse the upcoming dedication for what it is, an idolatrous demonstration of ongoing white supremacy and arrogance. Wow. Now, Abdul Bey, Kwame Abdul Bey, I believe is one of the persons who is over the Peace and Justice Memorial Movement. And he had a statement. So let me read that quickly here because of what Judge Griffin said. Here's Mr. Bey. I don't think I've met him. Is he local? I guess he has to be. When this letter was posted in one of the groups of supposedly progressive thinking Arkansans, of which I am a member, I was annoyed with the quick responses of support for it, so I posted the following response. I agree with Matthew Wayne Blum concerning the lack of official letterhead and a signature. This protest letter seems very suspect. Being one of the co-conveners of the Arkansas Peace and Justice Memorial Movement and having dealt and interacted with the persons and organizations that distributed this unsigned protest letter, particularly Dr. Mary Olson's Elaine Legacy Center and the J.J. Gibson Arkansas Delta Truth and Justice Organization, I advise you to listen to what Mary Melikian Richardson has said. There is a lot of personal greed and historical ignorance fueling this unsigned protest letter that has nothing to do with the Elaine Massacre Memorial in Helena, but more to do with a ridiculous one-sided pissing contest. Let's let logic and reason control how we view this. Helena is the county seat and the more easily accessible city in Phillips County. I'm going to tell you, that argument right there don't wash. If we as Arkansans wish to use the 100th anniversary of the so-called Elaine Massacre, to begin to show the world that we as a state repent for the 100 years plus of racial injustice and extra legal violence that have been inflicted on segments of our citizenry. This memorial is a good place to begin to tell the story. What happened in September and October 1919 in Phillips County engulfed an entire county and even spilled into adjoining counties. The only reason that it is commonly referred to as the so-called Elaine Massacre is because the area surrounding the group of lumber company towns, also owned by Garrett Lambert, founder of the Listerine Company, in the southern part of the county, where Elaine was the most prominent, was the epicenter of the beginning of the 3 days of violence. But if we are to be historically accurate, we would call it the Hoop Spur Massacre in honor of the church where everything popped off. Interestingly enough, federal government records refer to the incident as the Phillips County War of 1919. Point of clarification. Of course the federal government would refer to it as that because they don't want to acknowledge that it was a massacre. The memorial in Helena, because of the county seat and is most appropriate city in the county to accommodate thousands of weekly visitors from around the world. In other words, it's about money. The Elaine Legacy Center has an opportunity to participate in the endeavor by working with the Memorial Committee to create something like a bus tour that will take visitors to actual sites throughout the county, including Elaine, to tell the story of this tragic event. Instead, Dr. Mary Olson and her enablers, including Judge Wendell Griffin, the supposed author of the unsigned protest letter, have instead chosen to create an extremely toxic environment in Phillips County. And I know this because APJMM has been targeted by these puppets and their puppeteers. Numerous times we have been working to create memorials for the 500 plus victims of lynchings, expulsions, and other racialized terrorism in Arkansas's first 100 years of existence. It is the APJMM's position that placing a memorial to victims of racialized terrorism next to each and every Civil War monument throughout the state of Arkansas is a brilliant idea on several different levels. First, it is more meaningful direct response to the campaign that erected those monuments in the first place. Tearing them down is too easy and too divisive and actually fuels the white supremacist ideology. Point of reference here. I don't give a damn about white supremacist ideologies. Those monuments should not be up. And certainly a monument that was a monument where black people were massacred and you put it beside a white supremacist monument, yeah, I got a problem with that. But putting a monument next to every monument in a guerrilla warfare of ideas tactic. It says, when you come see my monument, you will also see the other side of the story that you refuse to acknowledge. Now you have the whole story. No, we don't need to see their story. We don't need to glorify racism and bigotry and what they did to black people. Sorry, I don't agree with that. The time is now for all Arkansans to seek unity and create a present and a future to benefit us all. We do not have to agree on each and every agree with each other on every issue, but we must be honest with ourselves and each other in choosing the course that produces the best quality and quantity of common good, and also look for the opportunity to improve upon today's ideas and ideals tomorrow. This is what the Elaine Massacre Memorial represents. You know what? I take that back. I won't be going to this memorial.
Why not?
Because it's not in Elaine. That's like building a memorial for the boys that were murdered in that fire in Wrightsville. Let's build it here in Little Rock. Yeah, let's build it here in Little Rock. No, better still, let's build it in Chenal. And this letter clearly states that they're more concerned about tourism. They don't give a damn about the monument and what happened. By the way, where are those bodies? What y'all doing to find those bodies? So let me take that back. I won't be going. Sorry. Y'all go right ahead. You going? You clearing your throat like you going?
I'm gonna see if I can make some money. They need me to move the statue or something. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna see if they might need me to move the statue. I'm about to Jay-Z you niggas. Don't y'all go. Don't none of y'all go. Don't go down there. Don't mess with them folks. We gotta stick together. Nobody go to Elaine. Yeah, I'll be there early. I'm probably trying to get there like at 7:30.
You know what you should do? You need to take your food truck.
Great idea.
Yeah, and sell some shoe polish so everybody can put on blackface.
You know what, Dave? That is a great idea.
There you go. I mean, I'm just trying to help a brother out.
And I should, you know what? I should do pigs in a blanket and call them
There.
barbecue Negroes.
There you go.
I'm gonna make some money off of y'all.
There
Black
you
folks,
go.
stand up. Oh, I don't see y'all. Okay, my bad.
There you go.
But guess what? Guess what, Dave? I'm gonna go down there and I'm gonna take some brothers and I'm gonna put some black brothers to work. So therefore, I'm giving back.
Okay.
I'm giving back, player.
Right ahead.
To all my black folks out there who ain't giving back, Robert Webb, he about to give back. About to give back on this capitalism.
There you go. Good for you. I'm so proud of you.
Hallelujah.
No, I won't be going to that thing. No, sorry. Ain't giving no until you find them bodies. Let me see. I'm trying to see the lady who wrote this letter. See, you have to be real careful when you're a white person.
How much time we got, man?
You got about 2 minutes.
I ain't got enough. I have to do it Monday. I want to read this letter. I want to read these. I read Lance's. Yeah, I read Lance's already.
Yeah.
Let me read the response. The Matt bitch. I mean, the Matt slap.
You're not gonna have time, but go ahead. We'll
Nah,
run over.
I ain't gonna-
How long is it? How long?
It's not that long. Hold on, let me find it
Well, so you should have had it ready.
first. Why you gotta be doing me like that, player?
I'm just saying, bro. You know,
You gotta be doing me like that, player.
I'm looking for this because I got a feeling this lady. You got to be real careful when you want to start telling black people who and where they should celebrate.
Right.
You know,
Here we go.
or commemorate.
This is what
Mary Melikian Richardson.
Who is that?
Is a white woman.
Man, can I read what my man said?
From Springdale. If this is the same person.
Yeah, she said, "Hell with y'all." Can I read my letter?
Okay.
My man, this is what he sent back to Hines for the email that he sent him, right?
Okay.
He said, "I'm gonna read it in the voice that he was probably writing in."
Oh, by the way, LaTanya said they didn't even have anybody from Elaine on the committee.
So what? I don't care. I'm just going out to make money. That's y'all problem. Y'all fight that fight.
I ain't going to support that crap.
Direct. This is the way Frank Scott. This is the way Frank Scott wrote that. Yo, Director Hines. As we discussed at the board agenda meeting on August 27th, the second quarter financial report was presented to the board on September 10th. Later, we received our June sales tax revenues on Thursday.
Was Player in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He went hard, man.
Okay.
And August 22nd, and we distributed the results to the board on Monday, August 26th. We will not receive July sales tax revenue from the state until the end of September, player. Now, your email has pissed me off. He said, your email has caught me by surprise. It appears as though your concern regarding the timing of financial reports is new to this administration. But I look back at the date of the issuance for all of the monthly financial reports from January 2007 forward, and the city has never met the timelines outlined by Ordinance 18605, December 18, 2001. I did not have reports prior to that time readily available to review to determine whether the city has ever met the requirement of the 2001 ordinance. However, player, I understand the need for timely and accurate financial information, but I do not believe that closing the books on the 15th day following the month end will provide accurate information, dude. As you are aware, player, the general fund's primary source of revenue are received 2 months behind, including sales tax and property tax. For example, sales tax receipts for June 2019 were received by the city on August 22nd, 2019. What was that? 2019. Were received by the city on August 22nd, 2019. 53 days after June 30th. Due to taxpayer confidentiality laws, the city has very little insight regarding tax revenues. Revenues fluctuate significantly from month to month. If the reports are issued within the timeline set in the ordinance, they will contain estimated revenues rather than actual revenues. The accuracy of monthly revenue estimates will vary significantly. As someone with banking and finance experience, I'm not comfortable who provide incomplete financial statements. In addition, listen here now. Expenditures would likely be understated if the books are closed that quickly. The biweekly payroll is for the 2-week period ending on the Friday before the current payday. Therefore, the payroll of each month includes salary, wages, and benefits for the previous month. In some months, 2 payrolls include pay from the previous month. For example, the 9/6 payroll is for the period from August 19th to August 30th. The November 1 payroll is the November 1 payroll is for the period from October 12th to October 25th. The November 15th payroll is for the period from October 26th to November 8th. Now, come on, player. The payroll is split between the months based on the number of days that fall within each month in the pay period. If the books are closed too early, a week or more of payroll expenses may be missed from the month being reported. In an environment such as the city, where the majority of personnel are paid hourly and overtime varies, such as police, fire, public works, parks personnel, the city's largest expense would not be accurately reflected. Monthly presentations of financial reports to the board of directors was discontinued December 2016 because the board frequently deferred the presentations. Prior to my January 2019 swearing in, City Manager Moore and Director of Finance Linehan made the decision to present quarterly financial reports beginning in 2017. We continue to distribute monthly reports and post them to the city's website, but they are no longer formally presented to the board. For historical backgrounds on this subject, please find attached the Financial Reporting Ordinance 18605 and 2 other ordinances associated with the restricted reserve and financial policies. I have also attached a schedule depicting the dates reports were issued from January 2007 to the present. None of the reports were issued in the timeline required by the December 18, 2000 ordinance. If timeliness is more important than accuracy, we will consider issuing reports utilizing forecasted information. However, I'm concerned that a forecasted financial report would not be as valuable to taxpayers. I look forward to discussing the best course of action for presenting the financial condition of the city in an accurate and timely manner as possible at our September 10th policy and discussion meeting, right? Where we will start the necessary steps to address our 2020 budget. Sincerely, your black homie, I appreciate you. My name is Frank Scott Jr. He went in, dog.
And you keep messing with me,
he bitched like
I'm
that.
gonna come for you.
He bitched like that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, JC. I had to say that, though.
There you go. I think the mayor's a little fed up.
Mayor said, listen, man, you want some of this? Bring your ass on.
Sounds like it to me.
But you know what I love, though, man? I love when a brother lay it down like that. Because you know what I love about the city board? They ignorant. They don't never go back and, oh, no, I didn't say that. I love the city board. But the city board don't never go back and research nothing, man. They just get a wild hair, and they just go and just do that, man. They think black folks we just gonna go, okay, you right.
They have been in the past.
They don't understand. We know we ain't Jesus. We know what's up. Woo, Lord have mercy, Jesus.
All right. Can we go now?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Hey folks, hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget about the weekly sports magazine in the morning. My dynamic pigskin picks. You can win a gift box from me as well. And we're also, Jamel Hill has surfaced, and she wrote an interesting article about why black athletes should lead PWIs. This is beginning to heat up. I'd like to say that I've been talking about this for a while. Maybe people are beginning to listen. Y'all have a great day. Roberto.
Hey, y'all. Love y'all very much. Have a good weekend. Hey, listen very carefully. Spend money in your own community, because if you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
You've been listening to Black Focus, where we
discuss. I gotta get out of here.
Our
you talk to everybody.
I got her number to call her CFO right now. But we're gonna go ahead and run her spots.
Hey man, I meant to tell you, man, you should have gave Tracy something different. We gotta figure out a way to get the other $2,000.
What is she?
She gonna give us $3,000.
Right. That's what I'm expecting.
Oh, so she did. You did it all then?
Oh yeah. What do you mean I did it all?
Because she was saying it was only $1,000.
No. We talked about $3,000.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's what we talked. That's what I'm gonna invoice her on.
Okay.
Unless she's changed. That's what we initially
said something to me then. I was like,
no, she's gonna get a full sponsorship.
All right, cool.
Okay. That's what we talked about. They're gonna be a title sponsor just like Landers is.
Okay.
So.
All right, cool.
So yeah, that's what I'm invoicing on for $3,000. Okay. All right, man. I don't know yet. I hadn't decided. All right. Okay, that'll be cool.